Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Prizepicks video. This one we're talking about the NBA Game 3 of the Finals on Wednesday. In the video we have 5 picks for you to consider, so stay tuned to hear all 5 of the picks. Also, if you're not in the private Discord, I give out more picks in here in all sports along with 5+ other cappers. You can see we've been crushing all sports in here. WNBA in my channel, I posted this 3-pick slip hit. MLB here on Sunday, another 3-pick slip hit, and also posted and hit this one for Tuesday. So we've been crushing MLB, WNBA. We've been going hard on that, but excited for the NBA today as well. Another one of our cappers, Volo, has absolutely been crushing. You can see this hit here, WNBA NHL combo, followed up by a WNBA and MLB 5-pick slip hit here for a 10x, and a light win here on Tuesday with the taco. Ton of big wins over in the Discord though, so definitely check it out. See how private Discord members, like you see here, hitting some big slips. Tons of big wins, more picks from cappers. If you guys want to join up, we're doing half off right now as the NBA season's coming to a close, but we've been going hard for MLB, WNBA, PGA, and esports, so definitely get over here. We're giving half off right now on the monthly plan. Just use code HALF and get in there. Half the price on the monthly plan right now for more picks from me plus 5 other cappers. I'm going to be posting more NBA on Underdog as well, so definitely check it out. We've been crushing WNBA and MLB like you guys saw. So let's get into the picks for this one though. The first pick I'm going to go with is going to be Luka over a 9.5 boards here. Going to go to him on this one. He's been a monster rebounding the ball. Hopefully he's a little healthier this game, but still has been crushing on the rebounds regardless. Going to be taking him over on 9.5 for the first pick here. We could take a look at this one over on Outlier. It's a tool I use every single day for player props. If you want to check them out, they do have a 7-day free trial down below. But you can see here on the season a 52% hit rate, so slightly above 50% here. But you can see on the chart, you know, like halfway through the season, he's been hitting this one a lot more. We can look in his last 10. He's hit this in 8 of 10 games. In his last 20, he's hit this in 13 of 20 games. And he's hit this in his last 4 games, both games against Boston. So I'm really liking this one for Luka. I think 9.5 is a fair line for him here. His points props are pretty high. I think it's 32.5. So I'm going to go to the rebounding. I like this one here for Luka for the first pick. Boston, not the best rebounding team. Around middle of the pack here, 14th in the league. So I think Luka can have another big rebounding game and continue this streak. He's hit this, 4 in a row and 8 of his last 10 like we saw, and even over 50% on the season. But he's playing huge minutes. Something you can do on Outlier is you can look at games, where he's played 36 or more minutes on the season, and then it's a 57% hit rate, so it jumps up more. Obviously, with the more minutes he's going to play, and he should be in line for that one. So liking Luka here for that first pick. For the second one, we're going to another rebounding prop for the Mavericks, Dereck Lively. I think the rebounding props are just too low today, so I'm going to be going to a bunch of them. Dereck Lively, I just think that he's going to be in line for more minutes. I've been surprised with the minutes so far in this series. We could take a look at it on Outlier to see the minutes that he's been getting, but has been surprising to me, and I think that he's a big part of their team and really helps them play a lot better. And when he hasn't been in there as much, Boston or Dallas hasn't been as good. So I think his minutes are going to finally get on the uptick. But at 6, so let's actually look at 5.5 here. It's going to include pushes, but it's a 58% hit rate on the season for Lively when he gets 6 or more here. And, we would be fine with a push at 6. So I think over 5.5, definitely a massive hit rate. But we've seen the last 2 games. First game of the series, he was in foul trouble, played just 18.5. I was surprised he only got 19 in the last game. I think he's going to see more mid-20s in this. Like last series, he played 25. He was injured in this game where he only played 9. And then got 27, 27, 29 minutes. I think we're going to see more minutes out of Lively. I mean, they need someone to help turn around and give energy to this team. I think Dereck Lively can do that. I mean, even on this season, if we look at games where he just played 19 or more minutes, this jumps up to a 75% hit rate. So massive hit rate for Lively on the rebounds here when he plays 19, like the first 2 games. But I think he could even play more I think he could play like 25 minutes in this game, and then it jumps up to an 84% hit rate. So actually liking Lively here to play more minutes and hit this one. And again, it's at 6 flat, but we will take a push, but I think he's going to get 7 at least in this one. He got 7 last game in 19 minutes, so I think the minutes are going to be up and the rebounds are going to be there. For the third pick, call me crazy, we're going to another Dallas Mavericks over on rebounds. I think these lines are just too high. Sportsbooks actually agree here, but a lot of them have it at 6.5 still. But you can see like Pinnacle has it at -140, -140 on MGM as well. The lowest one is going to be FanDuel at -128. Still indicates a good favorite here to go over. Basically, how OddsJam works, this site we're on that does have a free trial for 7 days if you use the link down below. They're going to show you what other sports books have these lines on Prizepicks and Underdog and compare them to that, give you the best % chance to hit. So their top pick here for the NBA is going to be PJ Washington over 6.5 boards. We're going to be taking this one as well. The boards props are just too low for this game across the board, it seems like, so I'm going to be going to a lot of them. PJ Washington is this one, that pick from OddsJam. If we look at PJ Washington on the season, not a good hit rate, 35%, but the last 10 in the playoffs, he's hit this in 7 of 10 games, 3 straight here, got 8 and 7 against Boston, so we're definitely liking this in a different matchup here for Boston, or for Washington, and for the playoffs, he's just, playing more minutes. So if we look on the season, it is at 35% hit rate, but he's playing like 36 minutes or more in the playoffs, and when you bump this up to 36 plus minutes, it jumps up to a 68% hit rate where he gets over 6.5. He averages 7.7 when he plays 36 plus minutes, and that's what he should be in line for in this one. So I think some of these props are too low for this game, considering how these guys have been hitting in the playoffs and these bigger minutes. So that one from OddsJam, I'm going to be taking the over on PJ Washington here at 6.5, and one that he's been hitting a lot as well. All right, the next one here, we're going to go to Jayson Tatum under 27.5. I think Tatum's going to have at least one good scoring game in this series, but 27.5, like, he hasn't even touched 19. I think his highest game this series is 18. Even in the last couple of series in the playoffs, he wasn't scoring a ton, and on the season, he really wasn't hitting this either, so they're kind of just expecting a big breakout game kind of out of nowhere for Tatum, who's shooting a terrible percent and just hasn't scored in the playoffs. He had 12 assists last game. I can't see him just trying to force his way into the game and getting a 28-plus point game here. I was expecting this one to be lower. I thought it would come in at like 24.5. 27.5 seems pretty high to me. So I'm going to be taking the under on this one. I can't just see a breakout kind of out of nowhere, even though it is possible, and I think he does have one big scoring game, but the odds just seem like it won't be happening here. If we look at Tatum on the season over 27.5, it's only a 40% hit rate for him, and in the last 20 games, he's only hit it in 5 of his last 20 games, which basically was the end of the regular season and then the playoffs here. And then we can look at the last 10. He's only hit it in 4 of 10, but against Dallas here, 18 and 16. So not liking this one for Tatum scoring the ball. He's just been really bad with his field goal percentage, and I just can't see a massive game kind of out of nowhere here, and I think this line is pretty high. Even if he was scoring like 25 on average in the series, I still think 28 is a pretty high line, but considering he's averaging 17 points, 28 is a really high line, and with what he's done in the last 20 games here, only going over this in 5 of 20 of them. So not really liking this for Tatum just based on the recent 20 games here, and just a massive line for him. So I'm going to be taking the under on this one for Tatum. But then we're going to go to over on Holiday here, over on 13.5 for his points. It's kind of been the opposite for Holiday versus Tatum. Holiday has picked up his scoring in the playoffs, and we're going to take a look at it on Outlier. He scores better without Porzingis as well. So on the season, only a 41% hit rate. But you can see the last 10 games, he's hit this in 7 of 10 of them. Last game had 26. Game before that had just 12. Was right there, but it was a blowout, so he didn't really play at the end when he normally would have been, and probably could have hit this if it was a closer game. This one's expected to be closer in Dallas, so I think he's going to be hitting this, and he would have played more minutes. He played 34.9. That was the lowest amount of minutes he's played in the last 10 games because it was kind of a blowout there. In last game, he played almost 41 minutes in a closer game, so I expect higher 30s of minutes to maybe even above 40 again. So for those reasons, liking Holiday. If we look on the season, like I said, 41% hit rate here. But games without Porzingis, who might not play in this game or could be limited again, and then it's still kind of, looking at the same data when Porzingis doesn't play as much. But when Porzingis is just fully out, this bumps up to a 57% hit rate for Holiday over 13.5. So a big bump in scoring for Holiday without Porzingis in there or limited. So liking that one. Also, just you can expect a lot of minutes from Holiday when he plays 37 or more on the season. It's a 62% hit rate here as well. So the combination of the more minutes plus either no Porzingis or limited Porzingis, really liking Holiday here. And with Tatum, we're going under on the points, and he hasn't been scoring. Holiday has been scoring at an elevated rate here, and kind of crazy that his points line is half of what Tatum's is, even though Holiday scored 26 last game. Tatum scored at 18, so going to be going with Holiday here. All right, so if you guys enjoyed this one, definitely get in the private picks Discord here. I give out a ton more picks in all sports. We've been crushing WNBA, MLB. You guys can see over here, hit 2 3-pick slips in the MLB in the last couple of days here. But we also have 5+ other cappers. Volo Bets hitting a massive 5-pick slip, and the day before that hitting a 4-pick slip. We have 5+ cappers giving out picks, so definitely get in here, check it out, see how we're hitting all these, and for more picks. But also use code HALF to get these half off on the monthly deal here. As the NBA is almost over, we've been going hard in MLB and WNBA. So we'll see you over in the private Discord, and subscribe to the channel.